Okay, welcome to episode 2 of our CWB Hoop Chat. And I am joined again with my sidekick producer, Danielle Levine is here with us today. And we have 3 juniors that will be seniors, Tana, Elena, and Christy, and a rookie, Shannon, is here today. So we'll kind of get their perspectives as of different years. But today I thought we'd talk a little bit about off-season conditioning. Right now we're the farthest away from our season after the season, and maybe you guys can just kind of start out by talking about what is going through your mind once that season ends. Maybe take a break. I know some of you it's like a relief, it's a long grind, but what kind of goes through your mind basketball-wise for development and conditioning once season is over?
I think for me at least, right when the game ends, I feel like you're so motivated in that moment for next year, but then you need to take a break for a week or two and just recuperate, get your body back down from all the every single day strain so much. But then once you start getting into a routine again, I think the motivation slowly comes back. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, definitely in pickup and stuff. I feel like there's a couple weeks where we were just we couldn't get everyone to come.
Right.
And then once we started it, and it's been a lot of fun. So I feel like it's definitely more motivation.
Okay.
To have fun together.
Yeah, definitely when the season ends, I'm that type of person. Me specifically, I like to take 2 weeks off just to regenerate and get my mind back. I don't do nothing. I obviously go running because I just can't do nothing. But basketball-wise, I like to regenerate, and then I get back into things and what I need to work on. And same with pickup, it's just more fun. And when everybody's there, and we just get more competitive every day.
How about you, Shannon? It's your first year to go through this.
I definitely needed some time off, but then I've been working out again since then, and just now that I'm doing it every day, it's just easier to do.
Okay, so right when it's done, that game, you're so disappointed that you lost, but you have another year.
Mm-hmm.
You're motivated. You want to go.
Yeah.
Okay, how long did that last? Until then, you said, wait a second. Does having just one day off or 2 days off in a row saying, hey, this is kind of nice?
Mm-hmm.
How do you go through those phases? I don't know, Danielle, you went through it 4 times. I don't know, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I get the same way a little bit, but how do you? What kind of goes through that process?
I think it was different for me depending on which year it was. Definitely my freshman year when I didn't play as much as I did compared to my senior year. I didn't need as much time off because I wasn't competing as much as I did my senior year. But my junior year, I definitely needed to take a step back and thank God I could breathe. I have a few weeks. But it's hard. You have to balance not too many weeks off because it's really easy to get out of basketball shape. And I always tell myself, no matter how hard you work in the off season, you're still going to be sore the first week of practice. You could run 10 miles a day and you're still going to be sore when you go in and do defensive slides or anything like that. We always tell each other that. But getting motivated, I think once I get home for summer, that's when I really start focusing for the next season, what's going to happen and all those types of things.
Yeah. Now you guys, I think Danielle brought up a good point. Depending on your role, too, you have a different type of motivation. Right here in this group, we had Christy started, all the games. Elena started a couple games. Timo and Shannon want to really increase their role. So how does that play into it? What does that factor into it? I mean, you guys are going to be seniors.
Yeah.
That's going to be a different type of motivation than Shannon. Mm-hmm. So what are you thinking right now as you're going in? You got 1 year left.
Yeah, I feel definitely when you're going to your senior year, you just know you have to give your all. This is the last summer before.
Okay.
So there's no games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just in the past, especially it's high school on a again. So you're everything that you regret from high school, oh, I could have done this, I could have done this. Now it's you have literally 1 more year of basketball in your whole life. So you're just I need to do everything to make it the best.
I think going through it, it's just you gotta train it's your last training day.
Yeah.
And then when season comes, play it's your last game, last practice every day because.
It will be.
Do you think that, and I'll get to Shannon here as a rookie because she's in a little bit different position. She thinks she has all kinds of time and it flies by. But do you think that because of that, do you find yourself working harder? I mean, like, you know, Timo, do you know, you got one more year left. You really want to be on the court. Do you find yourself, okay, I need to work harder, do different things? I mean, do you feel like some of those things factor in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Like, just like, you just know that's it. Like,
Okay.
there's no more, like, second chances or,
More
I'm having that-
discipline?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like,
yeah.
since it's your senior year, like you don't want to be sitting on the bench, like
Right.
you don't want any of like the new people to come in and take your spot.
Right,
So
right.
it's like finally our chance. So
Okay.
it's like you don't want
You can't
to
let
just you
anyone
can't
take
just
it away.
yeah like
Okay.
especially because you know where you were like when you're like a rookie still, like you obviously want to be on the court too, so
Yeah.
you're working hard, so you know that those people aren't taking it lightly either.
Right.
So you have to work like, just
How about Shannon? You're a rookie, got a little taste of some things. You know you can do some things, and you want to be on the floor. How is your motivation? Maybe a little bit different than these guys.
Yeah, I think it's definitely different. I think if it was my senior year too, obviously I know like I need to give it my all, which I still will, but I don't know. It's just like different. But
Right.
obviously I need to like work hard to like I still need to prove myself too, especially with like people coming in and like
Yeah. You're the same thing. You all want to be on the court
yeah.
for as long as you possibly can. You know, but the sense of urgency with the seniors, no doubt. So let's just talk a little bit about weight training. Obviously, how important, and some of you guys that are older may be able to answer that as opposed to like a Shannon. How important do you feel that is? And has it changed over the years, the importance level?
I think it definitely has changed. I feel like that lifting is always important, or just being in shape before even season comes, because it just helps you out. Because I feel like now that lifting is such a big part of just any sport, that people start even earlier. So when they come to college, they're kind of already in
Right.
some sort of like physical shape, which makes it like I guess an easier transition. But I feel like it's more known now, so I don't know what I'm trying to say.
You
I'm really
just
lost on my-
it's everybody's
It's
doing it.
important.
Everybody's doing it now, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's
I got
doing
lost.
it. Well, let me ask you guys just along those same lines, and you can still elaborate on that. Do you guys like it? Do you not like it? But you know you got to do it. I mean, because
I
there
love
are
it.
those people. There's some people who love it. There's some people who don't like it. But I have to. This is going to
Yeah.
elevate my game. So where are you guys at with that? I mean, Danielle's out of it now.
yeah.
She has to find different kinds of way to motivate herself because she's no longer trying to be on the court.
Yeah.
She's motivated. You know, she may
Yeah.
do it. So how are you guys with that? Don't like it, love it, you have to do it. You know, along those lines.
I think we have like the whole spectrum here. Like Chrissy is obsessed.
Yep.
Tana
She loves it.
Like,
Yeah.
Tana
No.
hates it.
Okay.
But like, I mean, and I'm kind of in the middle. I don't know about you,
Yeah,
Shannon,
I
but
don't really
like,
mind it.
I
Right.
don't mind it. But then like when you see results, you
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
when
you
it's,
start
like,
loving
okay.
it.
Yeah.
Like so.
Actually doing it is not fun at all.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
and also like seeing progression. Like I remember in my freshman year, I couldn't even lift the bar. Like
Yeah.
it was really bad. But
Yeah.
But even like for us too, like I see a difference like in
Mhm.
Tana in the weight room. So
Okay.
it's like
Mhm.
it makes you motivated too. To,
Right.
It just feels good when you can do something that you
Right.
couldn't do last year.
Right.
So and like you don't notice the differences. Like it doesn't seem that big. Like every day it doesn't add up. Like you don't notice the difference. But then like a year later you're like, wow, I really could not do that
Right.
last year.
yeah.
So obviously that's going to help Timo with hers, but you know, Elena, when you see that, or you guys see, okay, hey, this is a teammate that you know that doesn't like to lift, but she's doing it, and
Yeah.
you see her progress. How does that make you feel?
It feels good. That's
Okay.
like,
Yeah, right. I
Yeah.
mean, that's important.
yeah.
Because again, you want everybody pulling their weight, and I think with a team, when you don't see someone pulling their weight, it gets to be difficult. You know, and you get these feelings of, hey, wait a second, somebody's not putting in the time, or you're going to have to do some extra work. So, so how is our weight training program here at Cortland? What do you think of the weight training? We're lucky enough to have strength and conditioning coach. How have you guys? Did we always have that, Danielle, when you were a rookie?
Yeah,
Did-
just
okay.
in all 4 years.
Okay, so we've been fortunate to have that. How are they? What do you like about them? What are the things that you like, or there's some things that you dislike about the?
I think
weight
that, well,
training?
now we have Connor, which is like
Okay.
a new, different from like when we had Justin. And I think what I really like about Connor is he really talks to us a lot and makes sure like we're feeling healthy and like we feel good, which is like not that Justin didn't care about that stuff, but Connor just like really puts that on the forefront, like making sure we're doing every movement like correctly and like
Okay.
stretching, and we do like we all laugh because we have to like lay on the floor in the dark at the end and
Yeah.
breathe.
Yeah, yeah.
But like
Yeah.
he like
Yeah.
explains to us like why it's gonna help us, and like it's just like
So you actually feel like you've probably learned some things
Yeah.
weight training wise, which probably going to be better for you
Mhm.
if you understand why you're doing something.
yeah.
Yeah, and he also like perfects us. So like if we're doing something wrong, he definitely makes us know how to do it right. So when we're home doing it by
Mhm.
ourselves, so we don't get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like two different type of lifting coaches because Justin was a power lifter, so we did like maxing out and
Right.
like
Mhm.
stuff like that. And then with Connor, it's more like I guess technique
Yeah.
and just his type of way of lifting. I mean, even Phil's good too. I love what we
Yeah.
did in the preseason,
Right.
like sprinting up the hill.
Mhm.
It just pushes you.
Yeah. It may be a little bit more geared towards each sport, which each
Mhm.
sport's
Yes.
different, you know, and so when somebody can kind of specialize with that, that shows that they're taking their time out and making sure that we're hitting the areas that we need to. What are, you know, as we start to close a little bit here, what are you guys thinking in terms of next year? Goals, plans, standards, anything like that. What are some things that we're the farthest away, but we know it's going to be sneaking up and we're getting ready to go home for the summer? What are we thinking? How do we feel? Anything along those lines?
I just want to say I'm excited for next year. I just can't wait for it to come.
Yeah, I think like if everyone does their part over the summer, like we have such a good chance of like we could win the SUNYAC. Like losing Kerry and Taylor is obviously a huge hit, but we had so many people like ready to go, like wanting to go. So I feel like as long as everyone like keeps that positive mindset and like that drive, like we have just as good a chance as we did this year.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say we definitely have like a lot of work to do, like individually. But even when I see like people do things in pickup, I can really like see the
Mhm.
potential in
Okay.
our team, and it's like really motivating.
Yeah.
And I just know for myself, like I have to do a lot, but it's gonna be worth it.
So everybody's excited. They're motivated, like you guys said at the beginning. Everybody's motivated. They had the nice break, and now that you're doing the weight training, but you're playing pickup and seeing each other and,
Yeah.
and what you can do. So what would you say if you had to say, okay, what are 2 or 3 things that could, get in the way of us meeting our potential, and that you want to make sure it doesn't happen? Are there things that you could say, hey, let's make sure that this does not interfere with meeting our potential? Because it sounds like we all think we're excited because of the potential that we have.
Mm-hmm.
But what are the things that we're trying to make sure that don't get in the way, that don't interfere with that? What are some things that come to mind?
I think like everyone individually is going to be really hungry next year, and to make sure that we still like keep in mind that we're a team. Like obviously not everyone's going to be on the court, like it's just not
Okay.
possible, but so just making sure that we all like keep each other up all the time, no matter what, no matter who ends up getting those spots and ends up playing. Like everyone just needs to keep working and being there together as a team. We can't let any of that like affect us off the court or on the court. Like we just need to stay together.
So
as
the
a team.
individual over the team.
Yeah.
Okay, that's always a good one. Anytime you have that will affect.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that will affect meeting your potential. I think one of the other ones we just talked about today is if you're not putting in the time and the conditioning, the weight training, how important that is, the running. So there's a couple of them. Anything else that you guys, could think, hey, let's make sure that this doesn't happen because we want to meet our potential.
I feel like just holding each other accountable, like even in the summer, because it is definitely easy to like slack off. So just like make sure we support each other in that way, like when we're talking during the summer. And also it's just like there's 3 of us right here, but there's 8 seniors, so it's like
Right.
all of us want it,
Yeah.
So it's definitely like we just have to keep on lifting each other up.
Yeah. The accountability is huge. It's not always fun, but I think that's huge in terms of meeting your potential. If you allow some slackers, that will affect the whole team. Even in practice. So I don't know if you guys have anything else to add on this segment pertaining to weight training or going before we have about a month left, or not even a few weeks left of school. Anything else you want to add about this year or next year, or anything along these lines before we close?
Sure. I've seen your whole college careers, Christy and Elena, and I remember telling when I was a senior and other upperclassmen saying, we got 9 games left, we got 8 games left, we got 7 games left, and now it's your turn, it's your last season. And Shannon, everyone's going to be telling you, I'm sure upperclassmen, we got 9 games left, 8 games left, 7 games left, and now it's your time, all the seniors. So I think I really challenge you, that's going to be the hard part, is getting everyone on board. Because when I was a freshman, I had Grace and Megan telling me, it's my senior year, da da da, and now it's your turn. So Shannon, you'll see that develop over time, and I'm sure you guys have seen it over your past 4 years.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I'm really excited too, because I get a chance to talk with you guys and see how excited you are. And anytime from a coaching standpoint you have your players really excited and they're motivated, that's exactly what you want. And October 15th can't come soon enough, but at the same time we're all looking forward to some summer weather around here, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, hey, thanks for joining us, taking some time out. I know Shannon's got to go to class, and I'm sure we'll have you guys on again and have you guys be doing some interviews throughout next year. So, all right. Well, we'll see you next time on CWB Hoop Chat.